So why don't you do my intro, Mom?
Welcome back. This is Tassie's ghost. Welcome back. This is Tassie's ghostly update. Welcome back. This is Tassie's ghostly update.
Yay! You did it! Welcome, everybody. Today I have my mom. This is probably going to be my last video for a little bit because she's flying back to California. So, on this one, we're going to be doing my Halloween special. So, what are we going to be covering today for our Halloween special?
For Quentin locked up and ghost in the house.
You're saying it like a question. So, we're going to be doing my Halloween special. And for my Halloween special, we're going to be talking about Hwaneng getting locked up. And in Hmong, we will call it Hwaneng Masao. And then we're also going to talk about my mom's ghostly experiences in the Elm House. That's right, the house was on Elm Street. You can't get any more Halloween than this. I swear I'm not making it up. The haunted house where I met Michael, it was on Elm Street. All right, so basically, whenever we say that your Hwaneng are locked up, and remember, whenever I say Hwaneng, for Hmong people, we believe it to be like your spirit guides. And yes, it is very prevalent in the community where it's been known that people's spirit guides, at times, they get locked up. Why would that even happen, Tassie? I don't know. So it's mostly because of jealousy. If people believe that a shaman is going to be more powerful than them, a lot of times it is somebody you know personally. I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying it's somebody you know. I'm just saying most of the times it happens to be the scenario. So typically whenever they get locked up, so I'm going to be going over the signs. Like, how do you know your spirit guides were locked up? All right, so yeah, one of the obvious signs is going to be that you guys get sick. However, there are other types of signs too, because you can't just always assume I'm sick. Somebody took away my spirit guides, okay? Most of the times it's going to be if you are already a practicing shaman. That's going to be very obvious because when you're already a practicing shaman and then all of a sudden you can't do certain tasks that you used to be able to, especially like doing the chants or shaking on a bench and stuff like that. Those are very obvious signs that something has happened to your spirit guides. Same thing if you guys end up getting nightmares. So the nightmares, a lot of times your guides can come and try to tell you. And these are not guides that are strong at this point. So when somebody locks up your guides, they lock up your main ones, and sometimes you'll still have a few stragglers. So with those, they'll try to warn you and they'll try to tell you. Another obvious sign is going to be if you are weaker spiritually. And that kind of goes hand in hand with if you are a practicing shaman already. However, that can also happen if you are not a practicing shaman. You will actually feel, and it's kind of weird I'm going to say this, but it's like a diminished life force almost. But because your spirit is actually feeling sick. So that's why that would actually happen to you, because that's not normal, especially if you were totally fine one day and then now you're suddenly feeling like, you're really lethargic, you're tired all the time, you're kind of depressed, or you feel like something's missing or something isn't right, but you can't really pinpoint it. That could also be a sign. And then the biggest one is going to be constant pain suddenly. I know a lot of shamans who this has actually happened to. And sometimes they will get like pains shooting up the bottom of their foot. And they didn't step on anything, they didn't stretch it and damage it in any way, but they'll start to feel this constant sharp pain. And this isn't like a gallbladder pain or something, or your appendix. Normally it's going to be random shooting pain that throbs and it really hurts. And usually when that happens, we call it that somebody actually spiritually used a certain tool and actually hit your body with it, and it's damaging you. So that's why you would feel that kind of pain. You want to add anything before we move on?
Yes, or your legs were pain, like because the spirit's legs hurt and your legs hurt too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so your guys have been locked up. What do you do? So unfortunately, the only way I know of, especially in the Hmong community, we would have to seek out another shaman who can actually assist. And most of the times, people who are not practicing shamans, they wouldn't just go to a shaman to see if their guides were locked up. It could happen. I've never had somebody who was not a practicing shaman who asked me this for this type of service. So normally it is when you are already a practicing shaman where you really start to notice it. And shamans would then go into the spirit world and try to see, why are you having this pain? Why are you having these nightmares? They don't always know it's because your guides were locked up. So typically you do want at least 2 to 3 shamans confirming that your guides have been locked up, because this is not something that's lightly taken. Like, you don't just say it. And that's why I recommend having multiple people also confirming this, just to be sure, because of the process. Now, the process, as far as, once your guides have been locked up, typically what should happen is they will actually do a small ceremony or a full ceremony. A small ceremony, that's typically done where you don't need like a whole animal and everything like that, but it is still a ceremony that is done. Or they will do a full ceremony where they're healing you and everything. So the reason why you want to be absolutely certain that somebody really took your guides is because the shaman, and this is again a shaman of your choosing, whoever you want, they will have to go into the spirit world and find out who did it. And including all of that, there's punishment involved to the person who did it. Most of the times they end up sending something back to hurt the person who did it as well. So, it's not really like a light thing of just releasing your guides and then you're whole again. A lot goes into it, including punishing another shaman who could have done it to you. And it does turn really ugly, I'm not gonna lie, because now you have all these people sending things magically to hurt one another. And it all started because of one individual deciding to lock up your guides. So again, goes back to the very beginning. Why would anybody do this? I don't know why anybody would do this, but it's kind of just jealousy, basically, would tend to happen a lot. People who are scared of your type of shaman, like whatever magic abilities you're going to have, people who are not used to it, they think it's demonic, they try to get rid of it, and they actually end up hurting you as an individual. You won't notice it until much later. Now, why would it even matter? Like, let's say you're not even going to be a practicing shaman, you're never going to do this, you don't really care if your guides are locked up or not, right? Because you don't think it's going to affect you, because it kind of seems like it only affects you if you are a practicing shaman. And that's not true. Your guides will help you throughout your whole life. So you will end up becoming ill and die an early death if your guides are not released. And that's why it's not good. Even if you're never going to be a practicing shaman, it will affect you.
No, everything's true. It's just the people did it for jealousy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But the price they had to pay for.
Mm-hmm. And there are really steep punishments. And I remember I've had viewers ask me this before. Like, is it true? Is there a court in the spirit world? And there is. There actually is a whole court system that's set up where you can bring people to court and then everybody gets judged. And I've mentioned this in my God video about dragons, and I've also mentioned it in my website when I wrote some blogs out there, that there is an actual main court, that high court, that everybody will go to and take their cases, and you do get punished. Like, it's a very severe punishment, because when you guys are given and bestowed these type of abilities, you're not supposed to be abusing it, but it is very easy to abuse it. So, I'm not here to answer on why anybody else does it. They have their own reasons. I'm just saying these are the repercussions that happen. And that's why it's a very serious offense if somebody actually did steal someone's guides, try to bring it to themselves, or just lock them up to basically stunt the growth of that individual.
With the M house.
Like, what do you remember about it? Like, because I remember my mom used to always tell us that the place wasn't haunted when we were younger, and we always told you, like, Mom, like, this and this happened, like, this happened. And I remember when Michael hit me that night, and I told you, and you told me it was my imagination. But then, like, it wasn't until we were much older, and we were I think I was living with Sean at the time, and then you finally admitted to us, oh yeah, that place is haunted. And me and Sean were like, what the hell, Mom?
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't know until the neighbors said that the owner that built the house, he died in the house. And then
Why didn't you tell us?
No, it was later life already.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
What it was the neighbor that they sold the land to the guy that built the building. And we did not know. If we knew that somebody died there, we wouldn't buy the house. But we did not know because the house was in the wrong corner of the place. So he was really fortunate guy that he has quite a bit of money and is a builder. So he built the house
It was a really
as
nice
he
house.
likes. And but after the house, what happened was this what happened to people the same. And he got drugs. He got really drug, and he really had a lot of trouble with the marriage. And so he lost the marriage, and then the wife moved out, and he actually stayed there for a while, and then he drug himself. He died in the basement.
He OD'd in the basement, Mom?
Yes. And he was hiding into that little corner over
No,
there.
where the well is?
Yes.
Oh.
But he was hiding in there when we moved in. So he was hiding in there. One day, when we tried to move out the house, and my little boy and me, we go clean up, and he grabbed one of the nail on the hair
nail?
clip.
Oh, the hair clips?
Hair clips. I don't have that hair clips. And I can feel somebody touching my hair like that. And I said it really loud. That is not funny. Because I already knew that there's ghosts in the house. And so when my little boy is 2.5 years old, so he cannot touch my hair. So I felt somebody touch my hair lightly like this. When I came up there in the bathroom, I look at the mirror. There's a hair clip is hanging on my hair.
Oh my God. Did you throw it away? What'd you do with the hair clip?
I did not know what I did to it. But because we cleaning the house, we wanted to move to another building of mine. So we decided to sell the house. And then we moved. And then when we're cleaning, we keep talking about that we're going to move. So he went to the house that we're gonna move to. He has the mouse. Like that, like a mouse.
He has a mouse?
Yeah, or a rat.
That he brings?
That he plugged into the toilet. And we went there and we saw.
No, like, I remember snakes used to get into the
or
basement
like
of the house.
If you have, and then he whatever he did, he put a lot of flies into the bedroom too.
Yeah, he was like...
He would do a stupid
He hated
things.
it. Like, when we used to hang out in your room, because you had the radio in there and you were at work, right? And then the younger kids were with us. When we were too loud and laughing and joking, he would, like, turn the radio on or turn it off. Just so that we would shut up. Because we would get scared. Because he would keep playing with the electronics. Like, whether it was on or off, he would turn it the other way. Just so that we would, like, leave the room and be quiet. So I know he did not like us being loud in the house. The sauna was creepy too. Ooh, and the laundry room. The laundry room was really creepy.
That's what it is. When there's a ghost or somebody died in the house, and the reason that he won't let us go because when I moved in, I was able to have quite a bit of food in the house, and I wasn't that rich, but I'm doing good with the food and everything. So he said, since I moved in, he has plenty to eat, and he won't let me go. And so I said that I won't be able to stay. So I had to do the shaman performance. So we had to send him away, and because he's trapped. He's trapped in there. If we don't release him, he won't be able to go. So we had to do a ceremony performance that is whole shaman thing that we had to give him quite a bit of the spirit's money, and then we make a house for him, and we tell him to leave. So we put him in the backyard.
No, you guys built a house and
yeah.
you guys put it in the backyard?
And we burned them for him.
Oh, I was going to say, did you guys burn it? Because I was going to ask you that next. Okay.
No, we burned it. So that's the only way he get it. And then, so he was happy. So he said that, okay, then he'll just let us go so we can leave.
I would have killed him. 我找我那节目多是吗？
No, because only certain person that they think they can kill everything, anything, but many people, the spirit, they have the rules, the rights, and that's the way God created. So when they become a spirit,
But
it's something you don't like.
that spirit already broke their rules by haunting all the people living in there and creating all this havoc in their life.
We don't want it to kill. We just wanted to. It's a part of like.
You guys don't want like any bad things coming back.
We don't want something
that like a karma thing.
Yeah, it's the same as the karma. Other than because before that he was trying to do a snake down in the basement, and we caught the snake and we threw away. And then he said he was gonna do a turtle. If we live there long enough, he gonna do a turtle, turn to be a turtle to us. And then he made the sound. And then Shaman, that's a turtle sound. Turtle made.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then, so then when Nikki was sleeping there down there, he heard that sound.
Oh yeah.
And then one day I heard he talked to the girls on the steps, and I said, "Oh, that's exactly what I heard." And so I believe that there's a ghost in the house. And then until the neighbors came along and tell me we packing, so the neighbor came along and say, "You get moving again." That's what happened to the house.
Because I remember people saying that other people who moved in there, other things haunted them too. But I don't think that the owner was the only ghost in that house, though.
Yeah, it's other
I feel like there was other stuff in there too.
But that house, no one should live there. They should tear it down.
Yeah, they should. It was. I mean, it's
but
a
everybody
big
come
house
in there.
and it's very nice.
The bad part about that house that I was made decent money until I come to that house. A lot of my money, I lost a lot of money because the M house.
Yeah, that house.
It's make very bad luck to people whoever move into the house.
Yeah, the house was crazy. It's like stuff would happen in broad daylight there. You know, it wasn't like they only waited for nighttime.
The house is nice, but it's just the wrong
big.
spot.
Yeah. I remember Shong had mentioned one time that it was because he slept in the basement. Like there was a bedroom down there, and he heard, and the lights are off, and you had to cross the second living room to get to the stairs to go back upstairs. But he heard Gutsia, you know, in Hmong, that whenever we say Gutsia, that's like it's a song that it's like a folklore type of song that Hmong people would do back in Thailand and Laos. I don't really know if they do it anymore now. They might record themselves doing Gutsia, but this was commonly sang outside, right?
I don't know.
Why do you guys even... Okay, it's a song, basically. Why do you guys do Gutsia?
Oh, Gutsia. It's just a flirting.
Oh.
It's just you want to flirt your guys, your girls.
Yeah, because Shong would hear Gutsia in the night, in the middle of the night. It'll be playing. Like, he'll hear and he doesn't know. He'll follow and try to find the sound, but it's in one of the many rooms in the basement, and he could never find out where the sound was coming from. But he would hear it. And then another night, he would hear. He heard a woman scream like really loud into the dark, and it scared the bejesus out of him. But I don't know. He was kind of like, maybe I don't care. He closed his door.
Those noises before, maybe the wife and the husband were fighting.
Oh yeah.
I think we might be the second one of that building.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that
because the guy that built, he died, and the wife moved to, I think, Phoenix, and when they sold to us.
Oh.
And so we never see the owner sign the paper. We signed at a separate time. So.
Oh, I see.
But I just really like the house. That's why I buy it.
You guys know I used to have a house in St. Paul, and when I moved, I kept having really bad nightmares about the house because I knew that there was something there, and I was leaving it for the new owners. And she was young. She was like my age at the time. Or no, she was a little younger. And she did mission work. And so her parents paid in cash for my previous house. And she moved in, and I would have I felt like there was something that was there. That it wasn't there when I was living there, but I felt like something was released or something was there. Because when I was there, I had my shrine and I had everything. So the house was protected. But after I moved, I took everything down. And then when I moved and then I sold the house, I just kept having nightmares about my old house, that there's something in the basement and it's doing something to the new girl who lives there now. She ended up having a roommate come and live with her in the house. And I remember they called me once, like her parents called me once, because I had mail that was still being sent there. And they said that they would hold on to it for me and I could pick it up. But I would not go back there because it wasn't like the house I lived in. You know, like I felt like there was something really dark there now. And I was, what are you gonna do? Like you're not gonna knock on the door. And these are like really like they go to church. So I'm not gonna knock on the door and like tell them I'm having nightmares of a demon in your basement, like, and then I had previously lived there and I was a shaman. It's gonna look like I left it there for them. So I was like, and then eventually I told my guides I don't want to see it anymore, you know, because it's not my problem. Y'all gonna think I'm terrible for this, but anyways, so I was like, you know, it's nothing that I'm gonna take care of or do. So then I stopped dreaming about that house and I stopped having the nightmares of that girl being haunted and things happening to her.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I don't even drive past my old house anymore. But honestly, it's on a different side of town where I did used to, because my apartment used to be close to my old house. And I would drive past it every now and then. But then, like, I wouldn't look at the house. I was afraid something was going to look back at me. All right, you guys, so that is my ghostly update and special for Halloween. I hope everybody stays safe. Remember my last video, don't go around scaring people. You may bring something home with you. And thank you, Mom, for coming to Minnesota and seeing us, all of our dinners. And
We eat too much.
I think we're going to see each other next summer because we're going to go to LA.
Yes.
Yeah, are you going to go to LA with us?
I think so.
Okay. So I will see my mom next summer. We don't see each other that often, but every now and then we do. All right. Bye, everybody.
We'll talk to you next next Halloween again.
Are you going to come back?
Maybe.
Okay.
Or often.